special episode of Morning Market Call. I'm your host, Todd Castagna. With me today, we're lucky to have second-year MBA student and director of the business plan competition, Mr. Joe Hilton. Joe, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Joe, many people have heard about the business competition, or BPC, what we might be calling it throughout this episode. But I've actually heard the BPC is changing from what it has been in the past, even the recent past. What are the differences in the BPC going forward?
There's a number of schedule changes. Not that we've taken away any events, but we have added some.
Okay.
So we have additional workshops to help students. We have Super Saturday events that they can sign up for. Come in, get mentoring on their planning process and their business modeling processes from start to finish. We're having new kickoff events, complete with more raffles. Kindle Fires are out. We'll be raffling off 4 of those in one day in January. There's a lot of different events coming on that they can find on our website at bpc.byu.edu. Perhaps one of the biggest changes, though, is that we are changing the rules to allow more students to enter. Graduate students, undergraduate students. It used to be that you had to have up to 5 people, all of which were BYU students on your team. That's no longer the case. Now a student just has to be a founding member of a team, and they just have to play a substantial management role in that company. That way, if they have friends that go to another school, they can enter a plan that's being entered elsewhere. They can join teams with working professionals or entrepreneurs that have started a business at another time, and this is a spin-off entity. They can commercialize technologies coming out of BYU's Tech Transfer Office. We're creating a lot of different options and facilitating any BYU student from any kind of program to be able to come and compete and learn and launch business.
Wow, it seems like this is going to change things quite a bit from the standpoint of just options for students. How do you see these rules changing the field going forward? Do you think there's going to be more companies entering the mix? How do you see that dynamic changing?
I think there will be a lot more companies entering the mix and a lot more interest from the venture capital and investing worlds as well as the startup worlds. The business model competition, which is a series of competitions and events that BYU runs, already has an international invitational that we have, and this year it's in February. We have schools this year coming from Harvard, from Stanford, we have Michigan, many schools from around the country. As we open up our competitions and relax our rules to facilitate the entry and mentoring of more of our students, we'll see them entering other schools' invitationals. And we'll see BYU's exposure reaching those investment networks and going through those launch-up networks. So I think this is a great thing. We're going to expand quite a bit, and it'll help us handle the overwhelming volume of plans that we're getting this year. We're getting a really good response from our student population here.
Sounds to me like the pros are gonna outweigh the cons to me. If I were a student that had a business idea, how would I find out about more about the business plan competition?
The best way is to start at the website. It's bpc.byu.edu. There are contact links there. There are entry forms for the idea pitches, which are ongoing. We always have idea pitches going. Right now, there's also an entry form for our next Super Saturday event, which will be February 11th. There's a ton of information on that website. We have lists of external competitions. We have updates on who's winning idea pitches and announcements of workshops going on. We'll have a lot of data on the business model competition, which is coming up in January, followed by the international in February. So bpc.byu.edu.
bpc.byu.edu.
Yeah.
Great. Students, take note. That's an important site to go to. BYU has a reputation for being a great school for entrepreneurship. When I was coming back to get my MBA here, that was something that drew me here. The entrepreneurial spirit here is very high. How does BYU stack up, though, against other schools, and especially now that we're opening things up to bring in students from other schools, and we might be going to more schools outside? How does BYU stack up with those other students? Well,
BYU actually ranks #2 in the nation according to Princeton Reviews.
Wow.
And Princeton Reviews is the only review system out there that measures schools' performance in support of entrepreneurship based on the coursework that they offer and the programs that they have and the money that they fund. All the other rankings, the famous rankings, are just popularity polls among deans of colleges. It's a who's who.
Right.
Similar to book reviews and that kind of thing, but that doesn't tell how a school supports. And so when you look at Princeton Review, BYU is #2, and our plans absolutely show that. Last year we had Kleiner Perkins funding one of our plans. We have the International Business Plan Competition that's pulling people from London and from Stanford. We have BYU giving away in prizes and sponsorships over $300,000 a year, making us one of the largest competitions in the nation. We're tied into local networks and incubators. There are active seed funds and angel funds and now venture capital in Utah, all tied closely with BYU. we're sending our mentors out to the other startup funds and other incubators around the state. So there is just an unparalleled level of support for students that BYU is officially behind running these programs. So we compare very favorably in rankings, but I think that we're really just unmatched in terms of the opportunity that we can provide here.
It certainly sounds like it. There's a rumor out there that it's possible for BYU students to compete in business plan competitions at other schools, and I wanted you to talk a little bit more about that. Is that true?
It is true. Furthermore, not only can they compete, but on our website, bpcwu.edu, there is a link for external competitions where we keep an updated list of some of the competitions that BYU encourages students to participate in. Mm-hmm. BYU will actually pay students, will pay for them, pay their lodging, their transportation to get them to those competitions and represent the school there.
Wow.
And all that the school asks in return is if you win, then reimburse your travel expenses out of your winnings. Mm-hmm. But if you don't win, no big deal. BYU pays for it. We'll sponsor teams to go out. And wow. For those students that want to get involved and want to do that and have solid plans, all they need to do is enter. All they need to do is enter or go to the website and send us an email, say they're interested in these, and we'll review the plan, and if it's something the school can get behind, they'll send them out. We've already sponsored 2 teams. One of them took 2nd place at Tech Titans. We've got another one going to San Diego State coming up. Wow. And we've got a number more of these competitions to go. And that rumor is true. It's a myth confirmed.
Myth confirmed. Thank you, Joe. So it sounds to me like if you're a BYU student, you have an idea or you have friends with an idea, there's endless opportunities to pursue.
That's the goal. That's the goal. You
bet. We appreciate all your hard work with the BPC to help those students, and appreciate you being on the show, Joe.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us today. I'm Todd Castagna. Again, this is Joe Hilton. And thanks for stopping by. You can also visit us on morningmarketcall.org to see our show and to catch any other shows that you might be interested in. Thank you.
MMC is brought to you by the Marriott School of Management in association with the Brigham Young University Department of Communications. MMC is made possible by a generous donation from Larry Tasjan and Gary Williams, and is produced by Brett Weller, Todd Castagna, Mason Chin, Joel Toby, and Sabrina Beck, with line producing by Beth and Brian Grimmick. For more information, find us on Twitter or at morningmarketcall.org.